Welcome to Power Hour, where the editors of Powersports Business interview the movers and shakers of the industry. This episode is brought to you by Synchrony.
Hey, hi everybody, it's Brendan Baker from Powersports Business, and we're doing a Power Hour, a special Power Hour today with special guests from our team for Accelerate and Elevate, and we'll go around and introduce ourselves in a minute, but I'm going to introduce you to kind of our lead MC of the conference, the man himself, the voice, the smooth sounds of David G. So David G, go ahead and take it away.
Yes, everyone, welcome to a special cross-industry conversation, we'll call that. I'm David G., host of Boating Industry Insider, former editor-in-chief of Boating Industry Magazine, and proud to be part of a team that is helping bring together two powerhouse events, 2 for 1 this coming January, Boating Industry Elevate and Powersports Business Accelerate. I'll be your MC at the beautiful Wyndham Lake Buena Vista Disney Springs Resort. It's January 18th to the 20th in sunny Orlando, Florida. I've been to the hotel. It's great, beautiful pool just down the street from some awesome golf courses and Disney Springs Resort and the theme parks. And we are so excited to have you there. And today we're excited about pulling back the curtain on what makes these events so special, what's new this year, and why you should be there with us. Joining me, 3 people who live and breathe these industries. You've already seen Brendan Baker, editor-in-chief of Powersports Business. Madelyn Hubbard joins us as well. She's the editor of Boating Industry Magazine. And Christopher Officer, the managing editor of Powersports Business. Welcome, everyone. Great to have you all here.
Hi, David.
Nice meeting you.
So let's start right at the beginning. Brendan, you started to frame it a little bit, but what exactly are Elevate and Accelerate, and why do they exist? Well, here's how I would describe it, and then you can kind of add your own version to it. But both conferences were really built to help leaders in boating and power sports step back from the day-to-day grind, putting out fires and just managing moment by moment that so many dealers and manufacturers do, and kind of ascend to the 30,000 foot view. See the big picture, if you will, to also connect and learn and reimagine what's next. And we don't really view these as just a series of speeches or breakout sessions. They're really leadership gatherings. They're about perspective, innovation, community with the smartest dealers, manufacturers, and marketers in the outdoor recreation business.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. Elevate was started to really just, like you said, provide that leadership summit for our industry. And it's where a lot of momentum is built. A lot of people come in and they're just vulnerable in a sense. They're there and they're willing to share their experiences, whether those are the things that they've tried and they've been great, or the things they've tried and they just didn't really work. So it really is a space for people to come in and learn from each other.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Madelyn there. It's a great kind of cross-pollination of two great industries kind of coming together with a lot of similarities, but there are some differences. But we can all kind of agree on, a lot of the operational sides are run very similarly, and it's a great chance to network not only with some of your peers in the power sports side from the our Accelerate point of view, but also surprisingly there's a lot of good interaction between Elevate dealers and manufacturers and all those people on the marine side and power sports side. So it's kind of neat to see how these two kind of industries come together and have a lot in common, but also to build on that, to build best practices and really noodle on ways that work and processes that work in your businesses to help make you more profitable.
Yeah, the idea really is to not just walk away with a few notes, but with momentum. And as you alluded to, Brendan, there's just not too many opportunities where if you're a boat dealer from Ohio or Florida, to sit down and have a coffee or a beer or enjoy a sandwich with, a power sports dealer from Idaho who, you're finding, okay, so, what's kind of your biggest pain points today? And maybe it's hiring service techs, maybe it's, soft sales, a long sales process, lots of things that we're going to have in common. And maybe that, that power sports dealer in Idaho has an idea that they've done that's worked with them, maybe partnering with the junior college to, train the new techs of the future. And, I've heard and seen those kinds of conversations myself. So it really is a unique opportunity to have people from, all sides of the business really, really getting together and, just figuring out, okay, what can you do for your business, not only in 2026 and beyond. It really does move the whole industry forward. There's just great value in being together. There's value in community, and there's value in learning together from each other. Chris, do you have anything to add to that?
I think it's a good opportunity for industry professionals to really kind of, learn from the presentations we put on, but also kind of get around like-minded people in their industry and really pick each other's brains and see what's working and what's not, and kind of bounce ideas off. So I think it's kind of a multi-pronged kind of way to kind of grow and excel your business.
We'd love people to return, year after year to elevate and accelerate, but we also love first-time attendees. So let's talk about why a first-time attendee should register and show up in Orlando in January. Maybe you've seen photos, videos, know someone who's attended or heard the buzz, but yet haven't quite pulled the trigger. Why, Madelyn, let's start with you. Why should a first-time attendee register? What do they get out of being?
Yeah, everybody should absolutely register and register today. It's just a place where you can show up with, like you said, with those questions that you need answers to, and you're in this intimate space where the speakers, along with other attendees, they're all there with you. They also have questions. They want to answer your questions. I was thinking of a specific time when I think it was an attendee. They walked up to a speaker afterwards and they asked the speaker a question. And at the time, the speaker said, "I can't really give you an answer, but let me get back to you on that. Let me get your contact information." So it's just a place where everybody is accessible to everybody, if that makes sense. And like you mentioned, there's opportunities to go grab a coffee, go grab a meal, and those conversations can continue. So it's just a great place for anybody in any part of the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say, like, having gone to trade shows for most of for 30 plus years, and there's you go into a trade show, very busy. Sometimes you can't get to the person you're trying to reach or talk to, or people are always busy. It's like, I want to talk. This, it kind of eliminates all those barriers, like what Madelyn said. I think that everybody's very accessible and very willing to help. I think people come into this with an open mind and with an open and a learning mind. Yeah, it's about business, but no one's really trying to sell each other something, which a lot of times at trade shows, you're like, yeah, I'm buying what you're selling, or what are you selling me? It's all about that. This is about sale, but it's more about profits and processes and learning to get down in the nuts and bolts of your business, and a little bit of what I'd like to think it's like group therapy, maybe. It's like you come in, like, because there's a lot of frustration. We've had a difficult year.
Yeah.
And as we all know, so we're all just trying to learn ways and to manage through these times and to be able to shift and that's what the good dealers and the good manufacturers all do, is they learn to readjust in different times, so we're having to learn to readjust to the times we're in right now. And I think that this time of year, it's a good time to reset, right? So we'll reset for 26, and for first time people, you'll be blown away, I think. I was the first time, like, I didn't really get it when the first event that I went to, which was a couple years ago. I didn't really get it, until I went to it. And then I'm like, oh, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, it's great. And you meet some great contacts.
Yeah, that you alluded to it, Brendan. That it really is the magic of Accelerate and Elevate. No massive trade floor where you're just traipsing up and down the aisle and just having superficial conversations. This is really intimate by design. It's focused. Really, every conversation matters. You'll leave with pages of ideas and undoubtedly new friends. I love to watch. Again, during the network sessions at lunch or happy hour, new people sitting and drinking a beer together, or sharing a glass of wine and discussing the day and points that resonated with them with the various speakers. And again, as we've said, it's really cross industry learning. We're all in this attention economy these days, and many of us share the same challenges. Engaging customers, evolving technology, finding talent. It's difficult and it's challenging, and we really can learn from each other. We can grow from each other, and it's not just a conference. It's really a conversation across industries about the future of recreational lifestyle businesses. So we always like to talk about what's new and different this year. We've got a new year, as you said, Brandon. The timing of this the conferences is great. January, start off your new year with a trip to sunny Florida. But let's talk about what's new for 2026, because I know we consciously try for Elevate and Accelerate to evolve and iterate. We do lots of feedback surveys after each session, after the entire conference, and we try to do really, a very specific, deliberate job about taking those comments and that feedback and putting it to practice in the very next conference. So let's talk a little bit about what you've got new for 2026 on the Accelerate side, Brandon.
Yeah. I mean, it's lining up to be, I think, one of our best ones yet. Of course, I say that every year, but I mean, I do mean it. It's just we've got some great panel. We've got a finance panel that's going to be led by Harrison Huron from Foothills Motorsports, and he's the F&I manager. He's won many of our under 40 awards, but he's very passionate about what he does. We've got some other people that we're bringing into that panel as well to talk about some of the current, issues going on on the finance side of the industry. We've also got some great speakers that will be speaking about AI and about digital retailing, and how to maximize your new front door, which is your website, and response times to your website leads, building your lead generation aspect of your business, and how to take advantage or to maximize your, as they say in sports, you want to optimize everything. If you're getting a lot of people that are asking questions or getting on your website and looking at stuff, but you're not interacting with them, well, it's like having someone walk in your front door and leave without you saying anything. So we've got quite a few, and then we've got some great combined sessions that I'll let you guys go into. But I feel very strongly, and I've been to a bunch of conferences, and lately one that was very good. But we're looking at what is currently happening in the market and ways to react, or best to position yourself for the year ahead.
I'm excited that Harrison is going to join and lead a session.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the most passionate people I've ever met about the sports industry.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and talk a bit about the Elevate side and really those cross sessions. The opener is a returning economist, Elliot Eisenberg, who I think we all just really enjoyed listening to. He's humorous, he's entertaining, but he also does, give you a clear picture of what's going on and what to expect. So he's going to talk about tariffs, interest rates, all those big things that everybody's dealing with, and just help paint that picture for 2026. And I promise you, we'll all be laughing at the same time.
Very energetic, he moves around. So I love that.
What does he call himself? The bow tie economist,
The
is that?
bow tie economist. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Laughs and graphs.
Laughs and graphs. That's
Yeah.
right. That's yeah.
And then on the Elevate side, I am super excited to share that Keith Younger will be joining us, and he is our 2025 Mover and Shaker of the Year. He's the president of Sea Ray Boats and just a great guy, level-headed. I'm excited for people to be able to pick his brain at Elevate. So he'll join us, and we have a few people from ABYC. Very excited to have them as well. And I just think it's worth noting, this isn't necessarily changed, but because our goal is always just to provide that networking atmosphere, that space to collaborate with people, to get phone numbers, and so when you go home and it's a month later and you tried this or that and it didn't really work, you can call up whoever it was you spoke to and just talk things out. So we're really proud to provide that networking space.
Yeah, and just to add on to that real quick, because you mentioned the panel with Keith Younger, and we've got Chris McGee from Moto Marini who's going to join us on the Powersports side. So that'll be exciting, so we can kind of get a two different, aspects or point of view of their industries in one shot there. What else do we have? And then our Powersports Honors Awards are Tuesday night, so that kind of Monday night. So that leads up at the end of Monday. We'll have our Honors Awards, and Chris, you can kind of talk a little bit about that. But we have, I think, a pretty good lineup of winners this year, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the more exciting moments in the conference is kind of recognizing all the professionals in our industry. So our honors award ceremony kind of does that. Kind of gives the professionals around the country a little pat on the back for doing a good job and recognizing their hard work. So we have three categories for on the Powersports business side. We have our Women with Spark awards, our Under 40 awards, and then our Best in Class Dealership awards. So we kind of recognize, the amazing women in our industry, our young leaders that are kind of the future of our industry, and then kind of highlight the dealerships that are doing and practicing and showing what works to be successful.
And on the Elevate side, we do the awards as well. We're having the boating industry top 100 again this year. That will be Monday night, invitation only, but we love to have that event. It's I think 19th or 20th year we've done that, so 2 decades on. Also, just added serial boat building entrepreneur Mark Overby, a frequent contributor to Boating Industry Magazine. In fact, has a story on the website right now talking about AI and how that is impacting the boat building business. He's been involved in Supra, Moomba, Gecko, founder of Anthem Marine and currently CEO of Anthem Marine. He's going to talk about the changing customer. And then I will be closing out. We'll have the industry panel, as we've already discussed, which is always a big draw. Tuesday, combined speaker, we'll be talking about culture and building a winning culture. And then I will be closing things out, talking about my 3-second selling platform and what we're facing right now. It's not just a headwind, it's a full-on reshaping of our industry. Sales are soft, inventory stacking up, promotions aren't hitting like they used to, and suddenly leads that are, were warm or ice cold. And the middle of all that, you're trying to keep your team motivated, your marketing dialed in, your customers re-engaged, and all of this ground is shifting underneath you. It's a convergence of forces. There's economic pressure, demographic shifts, a digital revolution with AI. All of these things are hitting at once. And what used to be kind of a strategy, well, we'll wait this out. We'll keep on doing business the way that we always did, and things will come back around. Well, that's not really a strategy anymore. It's certainly not a winning one. And if you find yourself doing that, you might find yourself permanently on the sidelines. So lots of great content. Hopefully something in there, if not more than one thing, piqued your curiosity and attracted your interest, and is getting you to head immediately after listening to this to the websites to register. So let's talk about favorite moments, experiences from past years. Madelyn, Chris, you haven't been to one yet, but Madelyn and Brendan have been to a couple. Talk about a standout memory or moment from past years that really kind of captures what these conferences are all about.
Yeah, so last year, we started at the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and it was just the perfect way to meet people right away. We all flew in, most people flew in that day, and so we all met up that night at the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and people just got comfortable with each other right away. There was some friendly competition because they had their race car simulation, and there were snacks and drinks, and it was really the perfect way to start off the event last year. The next morning you walk into a room and you just already see familiar faces. So that's a standout. I have a couple. And then I believe it was either last year or the year before, but at one point during the awards ceremony for Accelerate, we just had such an energetic crowd, and so I asked everybody to stand up and cheer as I did the camera across the room. And I mean, people were just so excited. They were all there to celebrate each other, and it was just really cool to see, I guess, some of the hard work that we do throughout the year to bring the industry together, and to just see the effect it had on them and the morale, I guess. And then again, I have to mention Elliot Eisenberg last year. It was a really great session. And, we sit in the back of the room, and to watch everybody moving their heads and laughing and pulling out their phones to take pictures of his charts, that was also just kind of a powerful, fulfilling moment, because it's just nice when we can see that, okay, they're writing things down, they're taking stuff home, and there's changes that they see they can make. So those are some of the highlights. There's probably many more.
Yeah, I mean, those, you stole the words right from my mouth in a lot of ways. I'm like, yeah, the Elliot Eisenberg was awesome. That was incredible. And, and then just, it really is kind of it's the part that's not necessarily on the schedule, but it's just that intermingling. And again, that NASCAR, the opening, registration session or whatever it was last year at the NASCAR Hall of Fame was amazing, and it was fun to get into the simulators and race each other, and kid each other and rib each other and all that. And then just like I always say, I think it's great to, when you come together and you're in there to learn and to understand each other's business, where maybe you're there to learn, but you also have something to share.
That's right.
And that's where I feel like, you're not always, as much as you're there to learn what the speakers and the panelists are talking about, there's also a lot that you personally have an experience that you can share and help others. So I think it's kind of, it kind of is that group therapy thing. I feel like we all just try to help each other, and to, get through and to be the best version of ourselves and of our role in our business, and as a business leader. It's real leadership training and understanding. So yeah, I love that part. And just, again, it's because of that small atmosphere that we have. We don't have this great big, it's a big room, but we're not like a big trade show event where you got hundreds and hundreds of people packed into a room and you're listening to somebody speak. It's like a lot more interactive, and I love that.
Yeah, you really articulated it well, Brendan. It sounds a bit trite or cliche to say just your presence moves the industry forward, but that's such a great point. It's not just for you. It's not just what you learn. It's not just what you take back to your dealership or your business. It's being there again in community and adding value to others, bringing your best practices and lessons learned and your skills and your experience to bear to move the entire industry forward. For my part, I'll never forget our first year. We really had no idea how people would respond. This was a new kind of conference, but we really did see instant connection. People finally, saying, hey, finally an event where I feel the entire industry is represented, where I feel like I belong, where I can really get to know people, and where I'm learning things I can put into practice immediately. What really sets these conferences apart is that they're not about products, they're not about strategies or tactics. All of those things come to bear, but they're really about people, the relationships, the ideas, the conversations. That's what fuels growth. Okay, final call to action. Here we go. Let's bring it home. For anyone listening, whether you're in boating or power sports, this is your official invitation. Join us at the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista Disney Springs Resort in Orlando, January 18th to the 20th for Elevate and Accelerate. You are going to walk away smarter, more inspired, and more connected than when you arrived, I promise. And maybe with a little bit of a suntan as well for those of us who will carve out some time to relax by the pool. And I will say that publicly. I will be out there. But let's everybody give their last pitch. Why should you put this on your calendar right now?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and you need to take the step and join us January 18th through 20th, like David said. Register through our websites. There's just so much that happens through those 2 days. You'll go home exhausted, but also at the same time, I think enthused and energized about what's next for you and your business. So we'd love to see you. We'd love to meet you in person. And we hope to see you there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. I had a conversation with a dealer who said he'd been to one of the early ones and hadn't been in a few years, was out of Powersports. Now he's coming back in, and he's like, he loved the training and the session so much. He's bringing his whole crew down. He's like, I want my team to understand this, all these kind of things. And a lot of it, he's like, yeah, some of it is stuff you may know, but you may have forgotten, because sometimes you need reminded. But we're also in a period in time where I think there's a lot of, uncertainty and things leading into the year that we're all going to have to learn to navigate. And I think we can do that all better in one spot down in Florida. And hopefully it'll be really warm down there because, and avoid any kind of snow. I'm pretty sure we'll be good there.
Yeah, Chris, you're not in the weather business, but what's besides no snow? What's your prediction for Orlando in January?
Well, I'm in Minnesota, so it's going to be a nice little getaway for me because I'm looking at 2 inches of snow right now. But I think it's going to be a good opportunity, not only to, pick up knowledge to kind of excel your business, but also like get around like-minded people and just kind of let your hair down. And I think it's a good opportunity to business-wise, but, personally, it's you meet face-to-face people you work with every day. So I think it's a good chance to put names to faces and kind of enjoy that experience.
Absolutely. Bring the family, stay an extra day or two, hit Disney and accelerate and elevate your experience in your business for 2026. We're going to call it Reset, Refocus, and Reimagine. Thanks for listening, everyone, to this special crossover edition featuring the teams behind Boating Industry Elevate and Powersports Business Accelerate. Learn more and register now at boatingindustryelevate.com or powersportsbusinessaccelerate.com. And we will see you January 18th through 20th in sunny Orlando, Florida. So long.
If you like this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. We also invite you to connect with us on powersportsbusiness.com.